everyone. Today, I would like to introduce you to my world. I am an employee at SNCB for many years now. For those who don't know, SNCB is the public company responsible for railway services in Belgium. Do you want to know something? Well, guess what? This morning, I came across a top secret file with a very serious title: Burnout, Stress, and Non-Wellbeing at SNCB. Indicators of unsustainable working conditions. In other words, how important are the indicators of well-being, stress, and burnout to organizations seeking higher sustainability? Well, sounds fancy, doesn't it? I was rather skeptic myself at first, but as I took a closer look, I found it quite eye-opening. If you are as interested in me in better working conditions, follow me through this presentation. I promise it will be worth it. I will do my best to make this issue clear to everyone, and don't worry, I will try to speak comprehensible English and not boring report English that nobody understands. I choose to illustrate my view with the following metaphor: a mountain. You are probably wondering how this could be related to my company. Well, at the bottom lies the latest theoretical studies on the three main topics. After that, wandering through the mountain, the methodology will be found. Many interviews were conducted with several collaborators at different levels of the hierarchy, and we will find out how the collected data was analyzed. We will manage to go up the mountain by outlining the findings from this thorough analysis. Finally, we will reach the top by interpreting the point of views of the interviewees and by giving clear recommendations. As a remark, this report seems to be paying loads of attention to making the role of sustainable HR in these circumstances crystal clear. Let me start by pointing out the impact of well-being on organizations' productivity and efficiency. What is well-being? Well-being mainly takes into consideration the satisfaction of working conditions and the fulfillment of basic needs, which refers to clarity of expectations and a sense of belonging to something bigger. Let's move on to the causes. The impact of change comes along with globalization, new technology, or even restructuring. This results in different causes. First of all, there is job insecurity. The belief nowadays is that all jobs are at risk. The second element would be work hours. There is a direct impact on lifestyle habits, concentration, and work-life balance. Then, there is the control at work. This is a basic human need and source of motivation. Finally, let's speak about the managerial style. Some management styles are proving to be beneficial on well-being. This brings me to the consequences, which are mainly low motivation and commitment, health problems, but also anxiety and depressive feelings. If we take a closer look at practices, a piece of advice would be to give appropriate feedback regularly, to develop coping methods and offer additional trainings and self-development possibilities, to promote trust and open communication, and finally to encourage managerial training on the leadership styles and provide support to employees. In order to make the link with sustainability, let me say that well-being is more focused on the current generation, while sustainability focuses on the intergenerational level. Well-being can be seen in the long term if sustainability is guaranteed. Workers that are appreciated will feel well at work and subsequently be more productive. This was the general picture of well-being. Now let's look at stress, shall we? Stress is the body's method of reacting to a challenge. It can be caused by difficult social relationships or problems with the organization, and it causes health problems and leads to lower productivity and increased absenteeism. Sustainable HRM ensures organizations' interests and implies that employees' health and stress cannot be neglected. If it is not considered, it prevents them from working efficiently and having the full capabilities of their functions. To avoid stress, several practices can be implemented, like the method of coaching with compassion and social support. Stress and burnout are closely related since people suffering from a lot of pressure are stressed, which can at the end lead to burnout. This brings me to the final point I would like to develop on this first part: burnout. Burnout can be defined as a state of physical, emotional, and mental exhaustion. This exhaustion results from long term involvement in work situations that are emotionally demanding. It is mainly caused by bad working conditions such as overload of work, lack of control, or a lack of rewards for the accomplished work. Burnout can affect employees' performance and harm badly their health. Regarding the sustainable practices that could be implemented, there is the redesigning of the system, the promotion of mutual help between colleagues, or the organization of stress reduction trainings. Now I would like to proceed with the methodology. In the report, they choose to interview 5 different members of the organization through semi-structured interviews. First, an employee of the Corporate Prevention Services. Secondly, a member of the Human Resource Department. Then, a member of the union, an employee at the bottom of the hierarchy, and finally, a manager at the top of the hierarchy. Okay, so now it's getting more interesting with the findings. First, SNCB invests in the employees by offering them trainings in order to valorize the workers. Every manager in the company does not manage his team in the same way. Some managers are not participatory and are authoritarian. This is due to the absence of guidelines. According to the report, the third main element that enforces well-being is the work hours. We have a time slot to arrive and leave the workplace. Nevertheless, our managers are allowed to work from home thanks to teleworking, but this technique is not implemented for everyone. Finally, the way we accomplish a task or a goal is an important indicator of well-being. The managers interviewed seem to foster discussion and communication among employees. Moreover, a system of feedback is present in the company but not in each department. This report draws the conclusion that workers are a key factor and that SNCB provides them with well-being and gives them the rise to an efficient work. Well-being does not seem to be a problem at SNCB. Well-being is an important indicator for sustainable working conditions. Regarding stress, SNCB replaces each person who is leaving or promoted. Also, mutual assistance seems to be the key tool in many departments. SNCB has trained coaches who are qualified to answer inquiries of the personnel about the products. A CPS exists to help the employees deal with stress issues. However, relaxing techniques, mediation techniques, and the good management seem to be missing. There is also a problem concerning the workload and the time given to accomplish a task. Thanks to the analysis and the different interviews that the company collected, they acknowledged that stress is present in every position of the hierarchy. Unfortunately, there are cases of burnout among the employees. We cannot hold the company responsible for burnout since this illness is caused by overworking, professional problems, but also by private problems. Burnout is an indicator for unsustainable working conditions. In the final part of this presentation, let me develop the recommendations so that SNCB can reach the top. Teleworking is an efficient way to improve the well-being of workers. If they are able to choose their working hours, they can easily deal with their work-family balance. Although this trend is present in the company, It is not available for all employees. Regarding management, they have several propositions. First, managers need to be close to all their subordinates. This will favor the dialogue and enhance cohesion. Second, a particular management style should be chosen by the top management, common to the entire organization. We advise the participative, democratic style. In our opinion, this would fit SNCB the best. Then, they should create a charter comprising clear managerial guidelines according to the style mentioned above. This would constitute a reference for manager, suggesting them how to manage their team. Afterwards, feedback should be regularly given, and not only by managers, but also by the peers. Acknowledgement from managers is proven to improve satisfaction and motivation. Finally, everybody within the organization should share the same corporate values. Moreover, they noticed that there is a limit to the vertical mobility. It can be better to offer the necessary trainings to ensure evolution opportunities to the motivated collaborators, or at least provide them with the sufficient warnings and information before hiring them. The company I work for also needs to reduce stress among the employees by bringing in professionals of relaxation to minimize fatigue and subsequently stress. Burnout is present within the company. We all feel the overload of work. The report said that SNCB has to react, otherwise the number of burnout workers will increase. It is also important to give them recognition for their work and their accomplishment. I think I have said everything I wanted to. I am sure that you will be very sad to hear that we have reached the end of this presentation. Thank you very much for watching, and guys, for the sake of our group's well-being, please vote for us. Thank you.